Hey there everyone, Spazzy Dragon here, aka Syndrams, and welcome to episode number 0 of our new Let's Play. So, a few days ago I posted 2 votes, one regarding a character's backstory and one regarding the character's name. Both of these things you have voted on, I hope, and today you are going to see the results of that vote. So, for those of you who looked at the starting year and figured it out, yes, today we are going to be looking at Crusader Kings 2. This game is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me, in the sense that even though that I've sunk more than 1,000 in-game hours on it, I am still not really good at it. I've never been really good at grand strategy games, or strategy in general, I guess. But the cool thing I really enjoy about Crusader Kings 2 is the fact that, as Seth used to say, you pick a character in history and they get to live through your poor decisions, and sometimes these decisions lead to very interesting stories. So, there are a couple of things I have to mention. If you want to play Crusader Kings 2, this game is pretty old and it's pretty fun. It's one of the best Paradox games that I've ever played, and I've played quite a few, including stuff like Stellaris. But if you want to play Crusader Kings 2, don't be fooled by the fact that it's currently free on Steam. It became free some time ago, actually, with the fact that Crusader Kings 3 is about to release. That being said, you cannot play the base game. The base game is cursed, okay? It's not really good. You have to have all of the DLCs, and as you can see, in my case, I have all of them. I am fully prepared. So, with that in mind, let's start off. And I was trying to... the reason why this is episode 0 is because I want to talk about the mechanics and as to how we're going to do this without actually taking up vital time from the main episode. So, first things first, when I started preparing for this Let's Play, it was a couple of days ago, the first vote regarding what character to play was actually at, the biggest choice out of all the votes was the vassal of a small noble seeking to aid his lord. Now, there is a reason why I have to mention this, and it is because today, Monday, at 6 PM, as I'm recording this video, it seems that you guys have in fact voted it up a little bit, and it's currently showing the secret worshipful of evil beings seeking power. This causes a small issue for me, and I'm going to very quickly try to explain why. So, the thing about the noble, I started preparing this video like 2 days ago, back when the noble was the highest rated one. The thing about playing a vassal in Crusader Kings 2 is that the game assumes that if you are playing under a character, you will want to rise to the top. You will want to overthrow your liege and become the big boy. And so the game is rather ruthless in the sense that your character is going to be not really, you know, treated well by his lord. The reason for this is actually pretty understandable, and actually, I'm just going to point it out, like, if, before you watch this video, before, like, you continue this video, go to YouTube and search the Rules of Rulers by CGP Grey and Death and Dynasty by CGP Grey. These 2 videos are going to make you understand this game a lot better, and also kind of explain many of the very randomized things that seem to happen and all the, like, very strange things that characters in this game will tend to do. Because, for example, your liege, even though you have good relations with him and everything else, your liege might want to still take your title away from you and give it to someone else, usually from their dynasty, even if their kid, like, you know, their son or whatever, is worse at performing your job, as long as it's still, like, inside the family. And those two videos by CGP Grey, even though they are not related to gaming or Crusader Kings 2, they are going to perfectly encapsulate as to why this happens. So, the reason why I'm saying this is that in order to kind of make this whole Let's Play a little bit more doable, again, I've never done a Let's Play of this game, I have no clue how this will translate to a Let's Play, like, in general. I have installed a certain mod. The mod is called The Rise to Power. The purpose of this mod is to allow players to start off as a unlanded nobody, and then work their way to the top. Basically, it adds another layer of gameplay to the game, which is usually centered around being a nobleman, managing their holdings, their territories, waging wars, trying to keep your court in order, trying to, you know, keep your family in your control, and prolonging your dynasty. So, the reason why I'm using this mod, however, is the exact opposite. If by chance I'm going to end up without my land and without my title, usually this would be a game over, because the moment you lose your land or you lose your dynasty, you are dead. The game ends and you need to start anew. This mod will basically allow me to avoid that, and that is the reason why I'm using it. Why am I talking about this so long? The reason for that is actually very simple. The obvious thing I should have done at this point was play both characters. The vassal of a small noble seeking to aid his lord, who is at the same time a secret worshipper of the devil and seeking power. See, it could have been a very interesting combination. I can't do that because this mod, due to what I assume are balance purposes, has removed some of the fantastical elements such as devil worshippers and black magic. So I would have loved to play a kind of court black wizard dude, but sadly it's not gonna happen, guys. So, let's set it up. We're gonna go to single player, we're gonna play a new game, and the game is going to give us a chance to start in any of these periods. Now, I want to start at the earliest possible, and instead of any of these magnificent rulers like Charlemagne or whatever, we're going to use a custom game which will allow us to pick any of the rulers of, like, any of this place. Every single one is a different story. The game is very random event driven, so you're never going to have two playthroughs that are the same. But what I'm looking for is someone who has a vassal. And the thing is, so early on in the game, there's not actually that many people who are like that. One of them is over here, I know for a fact. It is this person right here. You can see he is the Petty Kingdom. His title is the Petty Kingdom of Kanakchta. I'm going to be butchering a lot of names right now, just so you know. And he has one vassal that is Chief Flight 3 of... Right, so we could play as this dude. I don't know if I want to do that, though. For some reason, I did test some of... I did test this playthrough a little bit. I didn't have good luck in Ireland. I don't know why. Like, my liege constantly kept trying to kill me, so since this character is not randomly generated... Yeah, that's problematic. So instead, I'm going to try and find someone here who has any sort of vassals. So this person right here has a vassal. So this is a High Chief Ichla of Sumi, which might be kind of interesting because I live right here, so, you know, that would be a very interesting place. That's an option. I might actually do that because I haven't played a pagan for quite a while. So this is an independent Finnish, and his religion is Suomensko, which is a pagan religion. If we go back here over to this dude, you'll notice that he is a Irish Catholic. So, you know, just like in those old days, religion plays a large role when it comes to both social life and other aspects of the game as well. So that is going to be kind of important for us. So, let's talk about the second vote. In the second vote, I was going to ask you guys to give me a name for the character and the name of their dynasty. And for some reason, you picked just Trent. So, okay, we are going to be just Trent. We're going to go to the attribute. My first name is Just, and this is going to be the Trent Dynasty. So, my purpose right now is to build us a character who is going to be role-played as someone who is completely loyal to the... And here's a loophole. So, I was going to say who is completely loyal to his liege, right? That doesn't really work this way. The problem is that my liege is actually... You know, as already said, there's a huge chance that my liege is going to try and off me, right? So, when push comes to shove, I might need to actually save my life by replacing the liege with his kid. So, in general, I'm going to say it right now, because the game likes to dick me, I am going to say that the character is loyal to the family as opposed to the individual, right? We are going to be... I can't open this person's profile right now, so I'll have to just kind of... you just have to kind of take my word for it. So, with that in mind, we have the ability to actually build our character. The more stuff and the more better I make him, the older this character is going to be. When you pass away, your game is going to be continued by your kid, right? I suppose it's a good time to tell you that if you have played this game, if you are good at this game, I am going to piss you off quite a fair bit. Also, please give me just a moment. Apparently my workday is not done. Yeah, I am very sorry about that. So, is this thing still recording? Yes, it is. Okay, so, before I was so rudely interrupted, because apparently at 6:30 in the evening, my workday is still not done for some reason. I'm still getting calls. So, this character is going to be all about loyalty. So, in his education, I'm going to... See, the better things I choose, the older this character gets. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a character that has a high-ish diplomacy, and he is not that good in martial. I don't care about martial that much. So there we go. I made it so that he's a charismatic negotiator, which instantly bumped him up from 16 to 24 years old. I am going to give myself one son, which is going to bump me up to 27. And I am also going to enable that I'm married, which means that I'm going to be 29. I kind of don't want to go above 35, because that's not going to give me a lot of real room. So instead what we're going to do is we are going to give ourselves some sort of... It's kind of hard to balance these traits out, because not a lot of them actually are that problematic. Personal combat skill, vassal opinion, -5. I guess I don't care if I'm craven. There we go, back to 16. Beautiful. But we are going to be content, because this is going to give our liege a better opinion of us. So there we go, we're back to 21. And at the same time, we are also going to be a socializer, because that is going to give me more diplomacy. And that basically kind of balances things out. So I think that this is going to be a pretty good build for a character. This is, obviously you can't prove that, but I haven't actually tried a build like this, so I don't know how it's going to go out. And the last few things is, I'm going to... Is there perhaps anything that I can kind of... This is our family crest, by the way. So can we make something that is interesting? Ah, yes, the tree. Ah, yes, we're gonna be the Corsairs. No, 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 no. Leaf. Leaf. I want something that resembles zoners or something. Ah, frick it. We're doing this. Yeah, just white. Whatever. Perfect. And as for the character themselves, I want to be a bold man. I want to be a bold man. Yes. Perfect. So, there we go, guys. This is going to be our character. I'm going to start the game right now. And kind of... So these are all of the additional options. I'm not going to change anything here. And instead, we are going to jump into the game, and I'm kind of going to explain a little bit where do we start off and what do we do with that. So, first things first. So this is our region. This place over here belongs to my liege. And over here, this is the territory that I personally hold, or at least I have been given charge of. So that's something to be... something to remember. So this is our liege. Let's take a look at him. He is the High Chief Ihala of Suomi, and he comes from the noble family of Virtanen, right? That's very good. So the funny thing is, so he has the titles of the High Chiefdom of Suomi, which is the whole thing, and specifically the Chiefdom of Satakunta, right? At the same time, he does not seem to have any claims, so that's a thing. And the same thing is for me. I have the title that is the Chiefdom of Suomi. Suomi, right? This is the chiefdom that I have a title for. I don't have a claim to it. So, technically speaking, if we advance to the point where the legislation of our government, so to speak, you know, I'm using massive finger quotes here, gives my liege the right to simply remove my title, he can actually do so. And we are going to try to make sure that, one, he doesn't do that. So, first and foremost, we need to make sure that we survive. And secondly, we are going to, as already explained in the write-up, we are going to seek to aid our Lord in his adventures. We are going to dedicate our lives to this man, Ihala, and we are going to try our best to do everything so that he succeeds. We are going to do everything to protect him of his enemies. We are going to remove people that are a danger to him, and if something happens, we are going to make sure that his heir comes rightfully to the throne. And that's basically it. So, as for our High Chief, my liege, he is a mastermind theologian, so that means that he is actually a churchman. He is brave, he's gratuitous, and he is stubborn. So, there are ways I could earn his trust. One of the ways is obviously not going to be, you know, dissing on religion. So that is something to keep in mind. And, yeah, this is where we're going to leave off. In the first episode, we are going to start building our relationships with our liege. We are going to start thinking, how do we survive everything that's going to be thrown at us in a moment? And I hope that this is going to be as interesting for you as it's going to be interesting for me, because I'm not good at this game in terms of, you know, aggressive play, huge expansions and whatever, but I do love the stories that these games usually offer, and I guess if you want to learn more about this game, just watch the review of CK2 by Seth. I will put the link in the video description. So with that in mind, I'll see you in the first episode, and hopefully this is going to be fun. Cheers!